Question 683. What is a township line? Answer, it's a line that runs east and west every 6 miles. Question 684. What is upfront mortgage insurance premium? UFMIP. The answer, it's the mortgage insurance premium of 1.75% of the loan total charged to the borrower when an FHA loan is taken out. Number 685. What does Florida Statute 475 cover? Answer, it covers the requirements for a real estate school, the requirements for sales associates and brokers, the definitions of sales associate and broker, the information about the real estate recovery fund, rules about license renewal fees, and continuing education. What constitutes an active or inactive license? Question 686. What is Chapter 455? The answer, Chapter 455 of the Florida Statutes sets out the general rules governing all of the professions regulated by the DBPR. Question 687. What is 61J2? The answer, it is the set of rules created by the FREC to enforce Chapter 475. What's the difference? Chapter 475 was passed by the Florida legislature, the body of elected officials who govern Florida. The law says what is legal and what is not, but it doesn't explain the mechanics of how the law will actually get carried out. Question 688. What does the FREC do? The FREC enforces the law. They ensure the law is carried out and to explain to everyone across the state how to do that. The FREC was empowered to create the rules that are in 61J2. 61J2 is the how-to chapter 475's what. The two should never be in conflict. The rules laid out in 61J2 are simply directions based on Chapter 475. Question 689. What is Chapter 120? Chapter 120 lays out how all regulatory agencies, for example the FREC, carry out their licensing procedures and disciplinary processes. For example, if you apply for your license and get rejected, you have 21 days to appeal. That rule comes from Chapter 120. Anything having to do with appealing a decision, disciplinary actions, how long the committee has to make a decision on an application, the rules around informing an applicant whether and why they were denied, that all lives in Chapter 120. Question 691. Do you need a Social Security number to be a realtor in Florida? The answer is yes. Question 692. Do you need a high school diploma to be a realtor in Florida? The answer is no. A GED is good too. Question 693. Do you need to be a citizen to be a realtor in Florida? The answer is no. Question 694. In the last 5 years, how many years do you need to be a sales agent to become a broker? The answer is 24 months, 2 years. Question 695. Who must take take course 1 63-hour course? The answer, only the standard applicant. Question 696. Who must take course 2? The standard applicant and a bar member. Question 697. Who must take post-education 45-hour course? Everyone but the 4-year graduate of real estate. Question 698. Who must take continuing education? Everybody but a Florida bar member. Question 699. How many days does the FREC have to approve or disapprove an application? Answer, 90 days. Question 700. How long does the FREC have to let you know of any errors on your application? Answer, 30 days. Question 701. How long is your application good for? Answer, 2 years. Question 702. What are the mutual recognition states? The answer, Alabama, Arkansas, Connecticut, Georgia, Illinois, Mississippi, Nebraska, and Rhode Island. Question 73. Who does Florida offer reciprocity to? The answer, Florida only offers reciprocity to active duty and former active duty military personnel and their spouses with active license in other states or jurisdictions. Question 704. What is the DRE? The DRE personnel are employed by the DBPR to support the FREC in their duties. The principal office of the FREC and the DRE offices are both located in Orlando. The Secretary of the DBPR appoints the Director of the DRE, but the decision has to be approved by a majority vote of the FREC. Question 705. What is the makeup of the FREC? The answer, it's 7 members. 4 brokers, 1 broker or sales associate for less than 2 years, and 2 ordinary citizens. One of the 7 must be over 60. Question 706. What's the initial application fee for associates and brokers? The answer, $83.75 and $91.75 respectively. How much is the exam fee? Answer, $36.75. Question 708. What is a void license? Answer, if you don't reactivate an involuntary license within 2 years, your license automatically expires and becomes null and void. Question 709. How does a license cease to be in force? Answer, it means they are not active due to a failure to notify the Florida Real Estate Commission of an important change within 10 days. Question 710. What is a voluntary inactive license? Answer, if a licensee wants a break from practicing real estate but wants to come back to their license later, they can make an official request to the Department of Business and Professional Regulation to put their license on voluntary inactive status. Question 711. What is a canceled license? The answer, cancellation occurs when the licensee chooses to relinquish their license and stop engaging in real estate business. Question 712. How is an express agency usually created? The answer, by a listing agreement or a buyer representation agreement. 713. Can an express agency be oral? The answer is yes. Question 714. What is agency by ratification? Answer, agency by ratification is created when an agent takes an unauthorized action on behalf of a party which is accepted after the fact by the party. Question 715. You must give a written notice if engaging in a no brokerage relationship. The answer is yes. Question 716. What are the 7 transactional broker obligations? 1. Deal honestly and fairly. 2. Account for all funds entrusted to the licensee. 3. Disclose all known facts that materially affect the value of property. And 4 additional duties. 1. Employ skill, care, and diligence in the transaction. 2. Present all offers and counteroffers in a timely manner. 3. Exercise limited confidentiality. And 4. Fulfill any additional duties mutually agreed upon. Number 717. What are the 4 added duties of a single agent? The answer is confidentiality, obedience, loyalty, and full disclosure. Question 718. How many units can a home be and still be residential? The answer is 4 or less. Question 719. How big can agricultural property be and still be residential? The answer, 10 acres or less. 720. What brokerage relationship must you have signed for a non-residential transaction? Answer, none. Question 721. Can a temporary shelter serve as a real estate branch office? The answer is yes. Question 722. What is a blind ad? The answer, it's an ad in which a license holder attempts to promote or solicit real estate activity without disclosing the fact that they are a license holder. Question 723. What is arbitration? The answer, a process whereby the parties to a dispute present their conflict to a disinterested third party and honor the third party's binding judgment. Question 724. How long does an associate have to get funds to a broker? The answer, a sales associate must deliver clients' funds to their employing broker by the end of the following business day. Question 725. How long does a broker have to deposit funds into an escrow account? Answer, a broker must deposit funds by the end of the 3rd business day after the sales associate or broker receives the funds. Question 726. What is an escrow disbursement order? Answer, it's the FREC's decision regarding who should receive disputed escrow funds held in a brokerage escrow account. Question 727. What is an interpleader? The answer, a court procedure meant to resolve a dispute when a party holds funds they know they do not own but to which multiple other parties lay claim. Question 728. If a sales associate changes their employer, meaning their sponsoring broker, they must what? The answer, notify the FREC within 10 days of the change. Question 729. What entities can register as a brokerage? The answer, sole proprietorships, general partnerships, limited partnerships. 730. What entities cannot register as a brokerage? Answer, corporation sole, joint ventures, business trusts, cooperative associations, unincorporated associations. Question 731. What is a general partnership? Answer, a business entity consisting of two or more parties in which all co-owners actively share power, responsibilities, and profit. Question 732. What is a limited liability company? The answer, a business entity in which parties are protected against personal liability for business debts. Question 733. What is a limited liability partnership? The answer, a business entity in which parties are protected from some liabilities while retaining other liabilities. Question 734. What is a limited partnership? The answer, a business entity composed of both general and limited partners. The general partners manage the business and assume most of the risk, while the limited partners are passive investors with limited risk. Question 735. Who presides over a formal hearing in FREC? The answer, an administrative law judge. Question 736. Who administers the final order after an informal hearing? Answer, the FREC. Question 737. Who administers the final order after a formal hearing? The answer, the administrative law judge issues a recommended order to FREC, which then makes the final order. Okay, this is a 739. What is voluntary relinquishment for permanent revocation? Answer, this means that the subject voluntarily turns in their license and therefore avoids a hearing and other discipline. Permanent revocation means they can never practice real estate again. Question 740. What is a summary suspension? The answer, it's when the Secretary of the DBPR issues a summary suspension order when the serious nature of the violation justifies suspending a license holder prior to their hearing. Question 741. What is a notice of noncompliance? The answer, the DBPR can issue a notice of noncompliance for a first-time minor violation by a licensee. Question 742. How much can you be fined for a citation? The answer, a citation is usually issued for minor violations. The fine currently ranges from $100 to $500. Question 743. What is the maximum penalties that FREC can hand down? The answer is, FREC can impose a maximum fine of $5,000 per violation, and a license can be suspended for up to 10 years. Often, administrative fines and license suspensions are handed down together. Question 744. What is the maximum penalty for a second-degree misdemeanor in a criminal court? The answer, 60 days incarceration and $500 fine. Question 745. What is the maximum penalty for a first-degree misdemeanor in a criminal court? Answer, 1 year incarceration and $1,000 fine. Question 746. What is the maximum penalty for a third-degree felony in a criminal court? The answer, 5 years incarceration and a $5,000 fine. Question 747. What's the penalty for providing out-of-date rental information? Answer, it's a first-degree misdemeanor to provide inaccurate, out-of-date rental information lists to prospective tenants who pay for those lists. That's the only actively classified in Chapter 475 as a first-degree misdemeanor.